Today, we're going to dig into a sweet mystery, literally, that happens every single year in snowy forests. And believe it or not, it kind of breaks a basic rule of biology that most of us learned back in school.
Okay, so picture this. It's late winter, right? The ground is just blanketed in snow. You look at these maple trees and they are totally bare. I mean, not a single leaf on them. And yet, we're out there tapping them, collecting buckets of super sugary sap. So the question is, how? How is a tree with no leaves in the freezing cold making sugar? It doesn't really make any sense.
Now, to really get why this is so weird, we've got to rewind a bit. Let's go back to that basic model of how plants make food. You know the one, probably from middle school science class. Yeah, this process. This is basically the standard recipe we're all taught. The ingredients are pretty simple, right? You've got sunlight, you've got carbon dioxide from the air, and water from the ground. Then all the magic, it happens inside the leaves, in these tiny little things called chloroplasts. And what comes out at the end? Well, oxygen, which is pretty great for us, and the really important part for our story, sugar. That's the plant's food.
So you can really just boil it down to 3 steps. Step 1, the plant gathers all its ingredients. Step 2, it cooks them up in the leaves. You can think of the leaves as these tiny solar-powered factories. And step 3, out comes the sugar, these little molecules packed with energy that the plant needs to live.
Okay, so here is the key takeaway, the big rule from all of this. According to this model, the leaves are everything. They are non-negotiable, they're the factory. So, if there are no leaves, the factory is shut down. No food gets made, end of story. And that brings us right back to our maple tree, standing there, totally leafless, in the snow. This is our big mystery, the clue that just does not fit with the story we've been told.
And this is where things really get interesting. This is the heart of the puzzle. On one side, you have our trusted scientific model that says, loud and clear, food is made in the leaves. But on the other side, you have what we can see with our own eyes, a tree with 0 leaves that is somehow full of sugar. The model and reality, they're just completely at odds.
And you know, this isn't just some small little detail we can ignore. For a scientist, seeing something like this is a huge red flag. It means the observation and the model don't line up. And when that happens, it tells you one thing. Our understanding of the situation, it's missing something. But here's the cool thing about science. A broken model isn't a bad thing. Not at all. It's actually super exciting. It shows you exactly where the edge of our knowledge is. It's like a signpost that says, hey, dig deeper, right here. There's something new to discover. So let's really spell out the problems this one simple observation causes for our model. Problem number 1, and it's the big one, no leaves. So where is the sugar factory? How is this happening? Problem 2, the location is all wrong. The model says sugar is made in the leaves, but we're finding it flowing through the trunk of the tree. And problem 3, our simple model is all about sugar, but hang on, plants also have fats and proteins. Where do those fit into the picture? So all these questions kind of force us to just stop, take a step back, and ask a really basic but super important question. What is actually going on inside that tree? And you know what? That moment of confusion, that's where real science begins. It's the launchpad for discovery. It pushes us past what we thought we knew and helps us start asking much smarter, much more targeted questions. So, question number 1 is pretty blunt. Is our whole model just wrong? Can plants somehow make sugar without any leaves? And that makes you wonder about something even bigger. If the food factory really does shut down all winter, how do plants not just die every single year? How do they make it through to the spring? Okay, now here's a really cool idea, a new hypothesis. What if we don't have to tear up our old model? What if the food is made exactly when and where the model says it is, in the summer, in the leaves, but then it gets stored away, saved for a rainy or snowy day? And that idea, the simple concept of storing food, that turns out to be the key to the whole thing. It leads us right to the tree's secret pantry, and it's going to solve this entire mystery for us. The answer comes down to one special molecule, starch. The easiest way to think about starch is like this. It's the plant's version of canned goods. It's a way to take all that sugary energy and pack it away in a stable, compact form for later, just like we stock our pantries. So here it is, the big aha moment. The solution is so simple, it's beautiful. That sugary sap we're getting from the tree in the winter, It's not being made in the winter. It was made months ago, back in the summer, and it's just been saved up this whole time. So here's how the whole cycle works. All summer long, the leaves are in overdrive, making way more sugar than the tree needs at that moment. All that extra sugar gets converted into starch and packed away for safekeeping, mostly down in the roots. Then fast forward to late winter. You get these freezing nights and warmer, thawing days. That freeze-thaw cycle creates a kind of pressure system inside the tree, and it starts pushing that stored energy, which gets turned back into sugar, up the trunk. And why? What's the point? It's the get-up-and-go energy the tree needs to burst out with new leaves in the spring and start the whole process all over again. So, you see, our first model, the one from the textbook, it wasn't wrong. It was just incomplete. It was just one chapter in a much bigger, much more interesting story. It just didn't factor in the idea of storage over time. So science didn't get it wrong. Our understanding just got a really cool upgrade. And isn't that amazing? The simple act of making maple syrup totally pulls back the curtain on this hidden, year-long story of energy and survival. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other things that we see every single day are just the tip of the iceberg, a tiny piece of a much bigger, more incredible puzzle that's just waiting for us to ask, wait a minute, how does that work?